Today's Editor's Note podcast is brought to you by
Drax, the Stain Destroyer detergent.
It stabs out spots, beats up blemishes, smacks up smudges, and is gentle on colors.
Drax, the Stain Destroyer detergent.
Only available at Nowhere.
Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast, the only podcast coming from Central Maine's best comic book store by default. My name is Zach. With me is...
I Jerry Sixed it this week by delaying the podcast by a day. I admit it, and I fully embrace any forthcoming penalties or public... I guess citations isn't the right word, because
I couldn't have done it last night anyway. I stayed at work an extra 2 hours waiting for a UPS package that never came.
Oh, so like, does this mean I'm absolved?
Kind of. You can blame UPS.
All right. So Jerry 12 is back here in the saddle again, ready to go.
Yeah. No, UPS put one of my boxes on the wrong truck.
You know, it wouldn't have killed you to respond to my text message, by the way.
I don't text.
You could have called.
I don't do that either.
You could have sent a carrier pigeon.
I don't like Facebook Messenger either. That's actually my least favorite.
So how are you going to communicate to me that the show may not have happened last night anyway?
I put it on Twitter.
Oh, so I'm just like supposed to like rifle through Twitter and just wait for you to like tweet. You didn't even tweet at me.
No, I tweeted. UPS tweeted at me. It's like, how can we help them? Give me my package. Give me my package yesterday.
You're missing the key component. I don't care about your package right now. I care about your mail package. It doesn't really get any better, does it? I could care less about your parcel post coming in. What I care about is that you weren't going to communicate to me that the show wasn't on it anyway, or at least acknowledge I told you. Although and don't say you don't text, because you texted me tonight saying you're low on beer.
It's because you took over a shelf in my fridge.
Well, I took over like a quarter of a shelf. It's kind of like eminent domain. I've left a can there for well over a month and a half, 2 months. So really, I believe that portion of the fridge does belong to me. Squatter's rights.
When people come over like, do you have beer? I'm like, no.
Yes, you do.
And not because I'm not willing to give yours away.
Well,
which, by the way, so we had Jared designed a giveaway last week. We did have a winner.
Oh, yes.
So he came in, and he took a 25-cent comic, said, this will be my free book. He goes, and tell Jared he has $4.75 left. Tell him to go buy a good craft beer and stop stealing yours.
I'm going to Pennsylvania. I'm buying myself some good craft beer. And you only gave me one from your cache of Yingling, so you're only going to get one. If that, you cheap son of a bitch.
He's like, you tell him. I'll tell him on the podcast.
Yeah, because $4.75 will buy me, what, a bottle? It won't even buy me a...
Look, you go through a gas station, you get yourself a couple out of the singles rack, you're fine.
I had to, like, rifle through, like, 2 or 3, like, half-dispatched 6-pack rings of beverage to find a full beverage 6-pack tonight.
How much rifling did you have to do? How deep is your fridge?
No, not my fridge. I was at Cumberland Farms, yeah.
Let's get into the news.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
You know what we got this week?
A new Superman?
Yeah, you looked at my notes.
Aha!
Yes, we had a new Superman with Tyre Hoechlin. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Looks fine. I don't have a lot to say. He's going to be in the new He's going to be in season 2 of Supergirl. What's kind of weird about him is I'm kind of used to now tank-sized Henry Cavill.
Yes, he is well constructed for these Superman movies.
Oh my, he's this guy's like really good shape guy, but you put him next to a really in shape Supergirl, I'm like, they don't look that different.
Yeah. I mean, Dean Cain wasn't like super jacked either when he was playing Superman on the New Adventures of Lois and Clark. Or was it Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman?
Yeah, whatever. But what I really liked about this guy, well, I've never seen him in anything. Or I think I saw him like in Road to Perdition when he was like super young, so it doesn't really count anymore.
Tom Hanks, 6 Degrees of Separation, again.
And a comic book movie.
Really?
Yeah, Road to Perdition's a comic book movie.
I thought I knew that.
Well, you know it again.
All right. Repeat knowledge.
But this kid, like, I thought it was kind of like this weird looking picture. I'm like, yeah, whatever, screw this kid. But then they showed like all these pictures of him taking like selfies with like all these little kids online. I'm like, all right, I'm on board for him.
Wait a minute, taking selfies like as Superman?
Yeah. Like in costume, like with all these kids who are
I thought he was just like walking, like, you know, his Instagram was full of him and little kids.
No.
Okay.
No, just like pictures of him like taking selfies with little kids like in the suit. I'm like, all right, I'm on board for this guy.
There you go.
And there was a gif of him that got released of him like pulling apart the tie and shirt and revealing the S. I'm like, all right, we're going with some Chris Reeve stuff here.
Yeah, we didn't get any of that in Batman v Superman upon another watching.
No.
He loosened his tie up, though. He's like, gotta relax the tie a little bit.
Yeah, that's just because he's an aging hipster.
Well, you know.
But we'll get into that. Welcome to the last episode of the show. We wanted to have a finite number of episodes bookending with Batman v Superman.
Oh, this is not the last episode of the show, though.
That's not true. I made a schedule through all of 2016 and a little into 2017.
Oh, my. So,
I really did.
news to me.
I'm like 3 episodes short.
Oh, wow. I feel like there's a lot of work I have to do.
You're going to lead one of them.
What?
And only one.
Which one is this going to be?
Right before the new Harry Potter movie comes out.
Oh, there we go.
Because I don't know that world as well as you do.
I know it decently, but not as well as some other people I know.
I read that book, the new one.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I have not had a chance to do that yet.
It was like, it's a really easy read because it's just a play. I did it in like 2 days.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Fine, same old stuff. Those kids really balls everything up, and then spoilers, it works out.
Oh, cool. Is Harry in it?
Yeah, and I don't want to spoil anything, but he does. I'll say one thing that I actually kind of enjoyed.
Yeah?
He has kind of a crap marriage. Like, he's not a good husband.
Wow. Wow. I feel the need to get this book now.
I was like, oh, that's kind of realistic. It's not like this fairy tale ending. No, he's kind of a bad dad and a bad husband.
I may Kindle it for my road trip to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's more of the same. I was never a big Harry Potter guy, which is why you'll lead that episode.
Okay, there we go.
Because you'll know it better than I will.
I can't wait.
And I'll have to go like, what do I need to do for research?
Oh, I'll have a.
Oh god, that's like 8 movies. I don't want to have to rent 8 movies for $2.99 off YouTube.
It'll be fine.
So many rentals.
Now you know how I feel about having to read Watchmen.
You don't have to pay money.
You know, you gotta.
I own that.
Money, but, well, still, it's a lot of movies.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure that there are places you can find copies of the Harry Potter movies for free.
I probably know some people that have it.
Yes.
This is totally unrelated.
I don't own a single Harry Potter movie, by the way.
You don't?
No, actually, I have the first one. That's it.
That one's crap.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of like gifted to me / somebody left it at my house.
I'll tell you right now, the first couple are crap.
Oh, yeah.
Good
absolutely.
casting, good set design. Chris Columbus, oh my god, you directed 2 boring movies.
Hey, you know, if your name's Chris Columbus, you're usually screwing up things like Finding America. No, it was already here. You were trying to get to India. Making good Harry Potter movies.
Screwing up Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, yeah, don't forget that. Bringing smallpox to America, too. Oh, different Chris Columbus.
Yeah, not the same one.
Oh, still. Hey, more news. Give me more. I want the news.
Avengers Infinity War, originally slated as a Part 1 and Part 2 movie. They dropped that. They've gotten away from the Harry Potter Twilight Part 1, Part 2.
Yeah.
Avengers Infinity War is going to be a standalone part. Avengers 4 is untitled, but it's still going to be directed by the Russo brothers who did Captain America, Civil War, and Winter Soldier.
So it's like...
It's kind of like Justice League dropped that too. I think they were like, everyone hates the idea of a Part 1 and Part 2 movie now.
Yes. Come up with a title. It's not that complicated.
Just give a movie.
Yeah.
Don't give an exposition movie and then a real movie. Give a movie by itself.
If you give me a movie by itself and then you give me a cliffhanger like ending, great. But if like I know there's going to be like...
How many times has that worked? How many times has the Empire Strikes Back model worked? Once?
Lord of the Rings?
That wasn't a cliffhanger.
It wasn't like a cliffhanger, but I mean, at the end of the first one, at the end of the Fellowship of the Ring, everyone's splitting up. It's kind of a little bit of a cliffhanger ending. 2 towers,
But they all ended with the idea of, like, hope. The Empire Strikes Back model has been tried and failed. The only, it's worked like an Empire and maybe Back to the Future 2. Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, but Back to the Future 2, in the credits, you get, like, a trailer for Back to the Future 3.
Which is balls.
You don't like Back to the Future 3?
I like a flying train.
You don't like the Old West portion? Like, they go back to, like, 1880s Hill Valley?
It's easily the worst.
Oh, no. It's not the worst.
Of course it's the worst.
I mean, see, it's so hard because I love Back to the Future. I like Back to the Future 2 a lot. I mean, when we say the worst, it's like worst by default. It's not like it's the worst far and away. I mean...
I love the first 2. And I'm probably in the minority. I think I like the second one more than the first one.
You're very much in the minority.
I just like the idea of, like, the alternate dimensions that he creates through his actions.
Well, I mean, it's all about the paradox of time travel.
I like that aspect of it, which I know puts me in the minority. And that doesn't mean that I don't like the first one. The first one's a masterpiece. But the third one falls short because it falls short, which is unfortunate. It's like comparing yourself to 2 next to perfect movies and then 1 kind of okay one, which is still kind of okay, but comparatively.
So this is where I disagree with you. This is where you're becoming Grandpa Simpson again. You're Abe Simpson right now.
But I like that for Avengers. stand on your own. If you want to have the two connected in one way or another, great. But don't have one movie be an exposition movie. Suicide Squad premiered, had its world premiere.
I've seen pretty decent reviews.
I'll get into that in a second. The director, David Ayer, was caught on camera going, F Marvel.
Uh-oh.
F them.
Uh-oh.
F them up the A.
Uh-oh.
He actually didn't say that.
No.
No, someone was like in the crowd, they're like, ah, like, F Marvel. He's like, haha, yeah, F Marvel. Then he like took to Twitter immediately. He's like, I apologize for saying F Marvel.
Well, I mean, he's all jacked up.
But then my favorite today is Stan Lee took to Twitter. He's like, don't worry about it. Saying that is like the greatest compliment. And he like linked a video of him explaining why saying that is really just the most exquisite compliment you can receive. It's like 90 seconds of Stan Lee talking about it.
I love it. I gotta find this.
And I was like, way to take it in stride. And, the guy was, David Ayer is like, of course I respect other filmmakers. I was just repeating it in the moment. It was...
I'm also thinking that like Stanley's probably like saying, yeah, you can say that all you want, but we're still kicking your ass.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I don't know what reviews you're reading, because that's been sitting between like a 14 and a 30 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I just glanced today, and like I think it was the New York Times review was like, it's fun.
Yeah, it's not doing good.
No?
It's sitting around a 30. I don't know. Suicide Squad, I still want to see it. The marketing was really good. David Ayer has produced movies that I've liked. Nothing that I've really loved, but movies that I've solidly enjoyed. I'm going to go into it still with an open mind. It's something I want to be good.
So after you see it, I'm hoping that you like send me smoke signal or however you choose to communicate.
But I don't even care. Honestly, if it's bad, this movie is the last one that's kind of standing by itself in the kind of DC world of, dear God, what are we doing with our company? Everything after this, we have Jeff Johns taking over, and he's going to be putting under his tutelage, and he's going to be writing, and he's going to be shaping the world in the same way that Kevin Feige has been. So Suicide Squad is really the last kind of flailing of these movies before we get like a singular voice saying, no, this is where we're going.
I mean,
so even if this movie is bad, I'm still hopeful.
I look at it like they put a lot of money into this, and they really have pushed the chips to the center of the table on this.
But there was rumors that started coming out today from, I think it was, I might be wrong, the Hollywood Reporter. There was saying that the head of Warner Brothers started getting worried that the movie was too serious after the backlash of Batman v Superman, so they put the company that was cutting the trailers, they cut their own version of the movie, and they showed both the director's versions and the trailer guys' versions to test screen audiences, and then they kind of mashed them together, and it's kind of made this incoherent movie, but we haven't seen it yet, so it's really... I can't judge it. I can't judge a movie that I haven't seen, and I don't know if those rumors are true.
That's what they're called, rumors.
It doesn't sound unbelievable, though.
It's Hollywood, man. Anything can happen.
And for those curious, there is a mid-credit scene involving the future of the DC extended universe, so you don't need to stay till the end, but there is something in the middle.
Oh, okay. Like the Oreo part of the credits?
Yeah,
is it going to have anything
the only part you're interested in? Yeah, so it's kind of an Oreo.
Is it going to be like in regards to like the upcoming like Wonder Woman, Justice League movies, or...
I don't know, because I haven't seen it, and I'm not going to necessarily trust an internet rumor. There's supposed to be something, but we'll see. In my least favorite show on television right now,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There's going to be a new director of S.H.I.E.L.D. this season, played by Jason Mara, or O'Mara.
Again, fact-checking the show, and not really into that.
Yeah, that's one of those things with this show. They started off with 6 main cast members, and then they added in a bunch of people, and they keep on subtracting people, and they just keep on... Essentially, now they just kind of whittled down to 5 cast members and one other one. It's like they keep on adding in, and it just keeps on going wrong. So it's like, oh boy, we're adding one more person that won't last a whole season. I'm putting money down now. I'd be happy to bet with anyone. This new guy, not going to last.
You heard it here first, folks.
No one on, like, any new cast member they bring in comes in and goes away. They die or get written out, or they get written out by dying.
I feel like you said like the same thing 3 ways. They die, they get written out by dying.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they just go away.
Just disappear?
Yeah, or they die. In the world of comics, and we'll see what this movie does, because running a shop, I usually see an influx in sales on a certain property if there's a good movie, and nothing if it's a bad movie, so we see what this does. the new Batman series and Rebirth, which has been doing very well all on its own. Batman will be getting his own version of the Suicide Squad to be working with on his third arc, which definitely isn't a result of them pushing the idea of the Suicide Squad.
No, not at all.
Yeah. But he's supposed to be going into Arkham and handpicking his own team. I have no idea who it's going to be, but it's something that hasn't happened before. Batman's worked with teams of kind of unwanted people before, both in Batman Incorporated or Batman and the Outsiders. They were called the Outsiders. They clearly were not a wanted group of people.
That's a great book by S.H. Hilton. Or S.E. Hilton.
The Outsiders?
Yeah. Stay golden, Pony Boy. Oh, you're talking about something completely different.
I am.
Oh, my bad.
Let's talk about a DC team. But I thought that was interesting and clearly has nothing to do with the movies. But that'll do it for the news. Amazingly enough, after Comic-Con week, where we were inundated with more news that we could actually report on,
There's not much going on now.
everyone kind of just dropped it all last week. Like, what do you want? We gave you everything.
Yeah. We've given you everything. I need to, it's like rolling over. Like, I'm going to go back to bed. Just roll over. Get some sleep.
But that'll do it for the news, and that will bring us into our topic for the week. Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, the ultimate super duper edition that is uncut and extra long.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret. I'm always angry.
It's time for an Editor's Note podcast review.
So, for those who have been following the show since the beginning, or those who have picked up the show and gone back to the beginning, and every time someone does that, I really recommend they don't.
Yeah, listen, it only gets better. If you want to, listen to quality podcasts, listen to next week's podcast.
Or listen to, 20 more weeks, come back, we'll be better.
Yes.
But people are like, oh, I listened from the beginning. Why?
Well,
when we had no energy.
We didn't know what we were doing, but now we know. We still don't know what we're doing, but we're doing it better than we did before.
Yeah, no kidding.
But the first episode was Batman v Superman.
Yeah, where we saw that in theaters. We had some thoughts, and now we're back to talk about the extended cut, which I guess
31 minutes.
I'd consider it the more definitive version.
Yeah, I mean, they had to cut stuff out. 3+ hour, 3 hour plus movies don't play well right now.
But here's what I want to go back to. So, for those who didn't listen to episode 1, and if you haven't, don't.
No, go back, listen. See if Zach changes his opinion on this movie. I think he does.
I've gone from angry to indifferent.
That's how it starts. I bet if
The rage.
Yes. I bet if we did, another 20 episodes, we talk about this, but you know what? It's not a bad movie.
So go back to your initial feelings. So, not counting rewatching, but from when we saw the movie to right before, did your feelings change on it at all?
Before my second viewing,
Yeah.
did my feelings change on it?
Did you lighten on it at all? Because neither one of us were big on this movie.
I wasn't huge on it, but I didn't hate it. I mean, I was excited to see it again because, I enjoyed it. I was interested to see the new stuff that was put in it, but I don't think my
Actually, I
feelings
don't
really...
remember your initial feelings. That was so long ago.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was dark. It kind of dragged in places, but I liked a lot of things that you didn't like. My rating on our patent review system was see it in theaters.
I don't remember what I said.
Oh, you said Redbox it.
That sounds about right.
I think you said either
it's
Redbox it or don't waste your life on this.
I think I probably said
You were pretty angry.
Redbox. Yeah.
As you usually are.
Well, the movie, it's so somber. I'm like,
it's dark.
you guys are wearing tights. You can't wear tights and then not have any levity.
But, the thing is,
One of these things is not like the other.
We talked about it before. It's Batman versus Superman, so you're going to the movie to see them fight, and it takes them 45 minutes to an hour to fight for the first interaction.
No, it takes 2 hours for them to fight.
They saw the interaction where he stops the Batmobile, rips the top off of it, and says, the Bat is dead. That whole deal there. It took forever to get to that point. It felt more like a Batman movie than a Superman movie.
Yeah, just the way the Justice League trailers are playing, it looks like Justice League will be more of a Batman movie too.
Because Superman is dead.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, by the way.
So yeah, your feelings, they didn't really change before. You didn't lighten on it, or kind of like I should see this again.
I was like, all right, I'm willing to see it again, but I was wondering what that extra 31 minutes of footage was going to do. Because I'm like, that's an extra half hour of movie. Granted, I like some long movies. There's some long movies I like. I like Ben-Hur. I like 10 Commandments. I like the
you
directors.
really like Ben-Hur.
What?
You're into that movie more than most.
I like 10 Commandments a little better than Ben-Hur. I just like the chariot scene in Ben-Hur and the galley scene. Those are two huge scenes for 1950s cinema. I mean, it won 11 Oscars for a friggin' reason.
Yeah, and people may or may not have died.
What, the chariot scene?
Yeah.
Nobody died. It was a rumor.
I know. That's one of the, it's like that little person hanging themselves in Wizard of Oz.
That's also a rumor.
I know. That's why.
But the chariot, like the chariot driving, was all practical and real. Like the scene where Ben-Hur gets flipped up over the chariot, that really happened. It wasn't. I'm
not going to see the remake.
Charlton Heston and Ben-Hur when Ben-Hur gets flipped up over the chariot when he's racing Masala. That's the stunt guy. He actually flipped up over the chariot and had to put himself back in. And they're like, all right, let's put it in. Keep it. Because he was supposed to just jump the broken chariot. And when he did, he got flipped up over the front.
But there's not a lot of practical in Batman v Superman.
No.
There's next to nothing. So here's the real question. So this movie comes out. They're like, we're going to have an R rating. Does he need an R rating? They curse once. There's a little more blood. Like not
it's a
ton.
little darker in places, though.
Like when Batman definitely kills a guy by smashing his skull with a crate.
Yes, and the blood streak down the wall, yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't a blood streak there in the theatrical cut.
Ah.
Martha, before she's shot, there's a gun in the face that you get to see.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the theatrical. You get some bodies burned.
Yep.
You get a little more bloodshed in that beginning scene.
Yeah, there's a little more to that. You get Lex Luthor in that pool of blood when he's talking to that demon creature.
Steppenwolf. But okay, let's really look at this.
Is it confirmed that that's Steppenwolf?
Yeah.
Magic carpet ride.
Not that one.
Oh.
There's really only a couple of new sequences in this movie. There's a bunch of additional shots which add up to the 30 minutes. In reality, they didn't need to come back in.
You get more backstory on the one woman who is testifying against Clark.
But even before that, we get Jimmy Olsen named.
Yes.
I'm photographer / CIA agent Jimmy Olsen. You don't know I am. Oops, I'm dead.
Yeah.
But you get that, and then you get, and I said this before, the bodies burning, which actually gave some kind of indication why people thought that Superman killed all those people. Because before it was just like, Superman shot people with bullets.
Superman doesn't need a gun.
Superman doesn't need a gun, but they're like, oh, he burned all of them with heat vision. I'm like, okay, so we're actually laying down believable evidence.
Yes.
Versus dead people with bullets in them.
The only thing for me that it didn't flesh out any other storyline, because one of our big problems for both of us was there's no story here. There's no arc for these two guys. It revealed more who was pulling the strings all along, who's Lex Luthor. Yeah,
which is really the main thing it does. It gives us a little more motivation. You know what I liked in the beginning here? Superman's introduction. We got a different introduction. In the theatrical, he just busts through the bunker. But in this, we get that shot of him, like, destroying that drone.
Oh, the drone and the bomb. I love the scene of the guys, like, the commandos,
on horseback.
On horseback, flipping off the drone.
Yeah, then Superman, but I like that better as an intro. They're like, they're going to destroy everything. He's like, nope.
And bang, bang.
Superman.
Which was funny, because it does kind of tie into the continuity of how many, like, drones and satellites they were giving him crap for destroying
Superman
at the end of last movie.
So much military property.
No wonder the taxes are so damn high.
That must be it. It's Superman.
Yes.
So following up on this whole extended sequence in the desert, we get to see Lex's men killing some of the terrorists, and Lois starts investigating the bullet.
Which we got in the first movie, in the theatrical cut.
But this got extended into her going to Jenna Malone and finding out that it was like an experimental bullet that only Lex had.
But that's still stuff that we got in the theatrical cut, though, when she met with the Secretary of Defense under the bridge, and saying that the bullet was, subcontracted to LexCorp.
Yeah, but it gets a little weird here because they discover that Scoot McNairy's character, who I don't remember the name of, and they don't give any context to this. They're like, oh, it was lead-lined, so Superman didn't know that the bomb was going to blow, but we haven't given... If you know Superman lore, you know that Superman can see through lead. But they never give any level of context of that in the movies. It's not mentioned in Man of Steel. It's not mentioned anywhere. They're like, it was lead lined. And if you didn't know that, what does this mean?
And Lois saying, like, he can't see through lead.
She didn't say that. She's like, lead? That's why he didn't know. Like, that doesn't tell the audience anything. Like, I know.
No.
Would your average moviegoer know?
I could assume and surmise using my contextual clues. But here's like the other thing, like, how did Lex know that Superman couldn't see things that were lead-lined?
Yeah, there's no reasoning behind it. And what also bugged me about that is that we see this character, this is included in the extended cut, we see him at the beginning of the movie making a bunch of bombs, presumably for being a suicide bomber.
Yeah.
But then Lex meets up with him and makes him an unknowing suicide bomber.
Oh yeah, because I like that scene. Like, well, Lois, like he didn't know he was gonna die.
Yeah, but they made him like, so your wannabe suicide bomber became an unknown suicide bomber. It was this really, it felt disjointed. Like those were two things that were meant for two separate cuts.
It could be.
Did we accidentally leave this stuff in there?
I don't know if they were necessarily bombs or they're like paint bombs.
No, they were bombs. They say later on that they found a bunch of bomb making material in his apartment.
Oh, like, there it is.
It just felt like they belonged in two different cuts of the movie, like the guy who was a suicide bomber and the guy who was an unknown suicide bomber.
I still think that scene where Lex spins around in that wheelchair, X-Men ripoff.
If there's anything that this movie really cemented for me, it's that I don't like this interpretation of Lex Luthor.
This is where we really disagreed. I liked it. It was different. It was kind of a grittier, crazier Lex.
But they also make...
You're probably like a big Gene Hackman Lex fan.
Not really. I've liked some of the animated Lexes. I haven't really liked any of the live-action ones.
Well,
but they even...
Who else did we have? Gene Hackman. Who else put... Kevin Spacey.
But they even add a line in here that's saying that his father was the Lex in front of the core.
Yeah.
And just trying to distance themselves further away from this version. He pees in a jar. He shoves a Jolly Rancher in someone's mouth.
No, dude. I think you were unfairly criticizing Jesse Eisenberg. I liked it. There had to be, like, he was the defined villain, but you could tell he's crazy. He's possessed by something.
But there's no context to him. You can't just introduce a character and go, I know all the secrets of this world. I know that Clark Kent is Superman. I know that Bruce Wayne is Batman, but not tell me why.
I wish there was some exposition to that end. I was hoping to get that, but
introduce this wackadoo character who's so out there. He would not wield the power that he has in any way, shape, or form, and then also make him the smartest guy in the room.
Could you ever think I could never figure out what his end game was other than to it felt like to kill Batman, and that didn't make sense.
The plan was too intricate. There's too many, and maybe we'll do an episode on it one day, but it's my same problem with the idea of the Joker in The Dark Knight, or whatever Harvey Bardem's character was in Skyfall, and I'm sure half a dozen other recent examples. Are you
telling me you did not like Heath Ledger's Joker?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there are villains who are given plans who are too complicated, who depend too much on coincidence to make things go perfectly, and this was one of those overly complicated
I'm going to say that Bane required that more than the Joker did.
We'll get into it in another episode.
Bane required that far more than the Joker did in The Dark Knight.
I'm shaking my head in silence. No.
Oh, good bullshit.
Of course. The Joker was like, Gordon needs to fake his own death and then capture me and then bring me to this one jail cell with this one guy so I can blow it up and then go to a hospital that has been fully rigged to explode, which would take months and months to do for a guy who says he depends on chaos, who then rigs two multiple ships with bombs again. It would take months to do.
So
tiny planning.
So you're telling me that Bane, his plan is to hold all of Gotham hostage. He's going to rig up every bridge to explode, and he's going to get every cop in the city to be in the subway system, in the sewer system, and blow up the entrances so they can't get out at the same time, as well as get the nuclear codes and device for this fusion device that Bruce Wayne, who's gone into total hiding and seclusion. No way, dude. No way.
But that at least has 7 years of prep time from Talia al Ghul versus the Joker, who's like, I depend on chaos, except for this whole thing that totally depends on coincidence.
The Joker is all about, not telling you the truth. He's all over the place.
No,
that's the Joker, dude. Oh,
it doesn't work.
Shut up.
The plot holes in that movie are so big you could drive that tractor trailer flipping its way through the street on.
Oh my God, you're killing me with this. No, absolutely not.
Don't think about that movie. It will make you sad.
No,
That's a movie that wants to pretend it's smart, but it's dumb.
Picky.
It's a movie that pretends to be an intellectual movie without being one.
See, I was gonna make a tie between Batman v Superman and Dark Knight. It feels like Christopher Nolan is trying to make it so dark, like The Dark Knight was. Dark Knight was a dark movie.
Dark Knight is a movie that is visually beautiful, acted, and Gary Oldman is amazing. I think he's the best in that movie. He has some of my favorite acting. Heath Ledger does great. The rest of them kind of, the rest of them suck. But that's a movie that we're still unfortunately feeling the ripples of. We were better off without that movie.
I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna reach across the couch and slap you.
Every gritty reboot that we've gotten is because of that movie. We were better off without it.
Would you say it works as far as like, because earlier in the podcast you're talking about like how many movies are able to do this The Empire Strikes Back. Dark Knight does it, I think. It all goes to hell for Batman. He's on the lam at the end of it. Like he becomes what he's fighting against, essentially in the eyes of the people.
I think the ending without the stupid speech does it.
And the Joker's plan was not totally to kill Gordon and like for Gordon to capture him. The Joker's plan was to kill the mayor. Gordon to him was like kind of a bonus kill. And his plan was to get caught.
His plan doesn't work without him not killing Gordon. Gordon capturing him and getting put into that one very specific cell where everybody blows up but him. That's not how bombs work.
He was in a separate place than where the bomb blew up.
Everyone blew up but him. Everyone. And just because you go like, my head's down slightly, that doesn't work. That's not how bombs work.
Yeah, but you're saying that Jim Gordon had to die to capture the Joker. No. He was going to kill the mayor, and then they were going to go huge manhunt after him. He wanted to be caught, and he didn't care who he killed. He wasn't saying, I need to kill Jim Gordon, or Jim Gordon died, I'm definitely going to get caught now.
Yeah, he was like...
He knew it didn't matter if he killed the mayor or anybody else. Batman was going to come with full fury.
Yeah, and then he knocked Batman out. He's like, okay, I can kill him now, but then it's like, oops, I got caught. No, it doesn't work.
Yeah, he totally wanted to get caught.
The movie doesn't work. We'll do that. We'll talk about how much that movie doesn't work in another episode.
You are the pickiest moviegoer I've ever met.
But I'll talk about how much I like Gary Oldman in that movie.
Gary Oldman's great in anything he does.
Is he Dracula?
Nope.
Yeah, don't do that.
You ruin everything for me.
Because I think about things?
Because you overthink things. You're supposed to go and enjoy. This is fiction. This is like an enjoyable experience. You go and be like, oh, it's not realistic.
No, my plan is to be so accurately picky that I get hired by a studio to be a script doctor. Be like, no, doesn't work.
You won't get hired because you're too picky.
They should hire me.
Please, somebody, so we can have movies that apparently make sense.
Yeah, why is that a bad standard?
It's a goddamn comic book hero movie.
It still makes sense.
I think it makes wonderful sense.
You gotta lay down the rules for them to make sense, which is why...
The Joker doesn't operate with any rules.
I was moving on to Batman v Superman, which is why Lex Luthor doesn't work. If you tell me this is a world where no one can figure out who Batman and Superman are, I will go by those rules. In a perfectly logical world, in the real world, that wouldn't make sense. But if you give me a movie universe where those are the rules, where people can't put two and two together, I will buy it. But you can't have a guy come in with no context, and just going, I broke all of the rules, then the whole universe falls apart.
But Perry White knew that Clark Kent was Superman. He figured it out.
And the extended cut. I said that when we first reviewed this, I said I think Perry knows. For all the stuff they added in with Perry, I don't think he does.
Okay, maybe not. I mean, when Lois says she needs a chopper to get over to Gotham.
Yeah, that's the line that did it. But before that, he's like, where's Kent? Where is he? I never understand where he is.
Yeah.
Like,
I felt like, too, like, the way Perry was, trying too hard to make him kind of like J. Jonah Jameson.
The other scene that we get a little bit more of is, I mentioned it, Clark ends up going to Gotham, and he ends up finding more about Batman and this whole Bat brand thing.
Yes.
And we discover there's a testimony against Superman of someone saying, like, he let my family die. Who does Superman get to choose who to save and who not? And we also see the guy that Batman brands at the beginning getting shanked in prison.
Yes.
Through Lex Luthor's orders. And it's not necessarily a sign of death, but Lex has made it a sign of death.
Oh, yeah, like Lex is paying people in prison to kill people that have the Bat brand.
Bad job, Batman. If he knows that's going on, stop branding people.
That's a very good point. Very, very good point. Or is it like his way of like, he's not killing them, so he's not breaking his rule?
Yeah, Batman's very murdery in this.
Oh, he kills a ton of people.
And even in this version, we see him pop some pills that he washes down with booze. Not healthy. Don't do that.
No. That's very Iron Man. That's very Tony Stark.
We didn't see him washing down.
That's very 1990s Robert Downey Jr.
He did more than that.
Well, good point, but still.
That's what I love in The Simpsons when they go to Hollywood. Like, look, there's Robert Downey Jr. having a shootout with the police. I don't see any cameras. I love that scene.
Oh, goodness.
We get the unnecessary return of the Bat Butt.
See, again, like, you're really nitpicky here.
Hey, like, we're going to one-up Joel Schumacher's rubber fetish. We're just showing you middle-aged man ass.
Oh, where he's in the shower scene?
Yeah.
Ben Affleck was in good shape for this movie, by the way.
Look, between this and Gone Girl, I've seen enough of Ben Affleck. There's some other stuff in there that I kind of like. I liked Clark calling his mother when he's feeling unsure of himself.
Yes.
And just talking about, like, his father and... But then that got a little weird. He's like, why didn't he leave Smallville? I'm like, because you let him die in a tornado.
No, the tornado dropped him off in the middle of the Antarctic. Come on.
No, he's dead. And that's even weird. They add a little bit there that's so strange. So one thing that they do right before Clark goes off in his weird vision quest is they do show him saving people after the bomb explodes in the courtroom, which they didn't have in the theatrical cut.
Yes, that's true.
They show him bringing people to first responders and getting them away to the hospital. Then he goes off on the mountain and he walks by some people, and they're like, he's going to die. What a weird scene. What a weird little inclusion.
Yeah.
He's definitely not going to die. He's Superman. Why is this in the movie?
I don't think it was saying he was going to. I think they were talking about the person he saved.
No, because Clark walks by those guys who are on the mountain like, stand back. He's going to die. Like, he's going to go, like, kill himself in the mountains. Like, no, he's not. He's Superman.
I don't think they understand. Like, I don't know.
But why do we need that in the movie? Yeah, they don't understand because they know he's Superman. We do. We don't need that scene. There's a lot of these added shots and stuff. I feel like they were just adding them in to say, like, we have an extra 30 minutes versus we have an extra 10 that helps flesh out the story. We get a Jon Stewart cameo, which really dates this movie.
Yes.
I'm like, well, I guess we know the cutoff for the timeline in this, because that wasn't in the theatrical. There is a little bit more violence in here. Like I said, Batman gets stabbed. And in the theatrical, he just kind of moves on. But in this, like, he goes back to, like, hunt down the guy who stabbed him,
And
so
then
he can
pins
stab
him to the wall.
and punches someone in the dick.
I think it was a dick punch.
Yeah, there was definitely a vindictive dick punch.
By the way, when he
there.
grabs the guy, like, punches the guy's head from behind, and, like, his head goes into the floor.
That was in the theatrical.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, yeah, shit.
He's very dead.
Well, I mean, at that point, Batman. I still hate, though, like, they fight, right? They have this big fight, Batman and Superman, and then, like, all of a sudden, you get the Martha, why did you say that name? Why did you say that name? And, like, all of a sudden, they're friends. Oh, your mom has the same name I do. Let's be friends.
Here's the thing. And I know this is the part of the movie that people hate the most, and I'm not saying I'm a fan of it. I think that if executed differently, it could have worked. Because we have this whole thing with Batman throughout the movie in Batman Forever, not the movie, but Batman always feeling regret about not being able to step up and save his parents.
Mm-hmm.
And that he can use some level of transference here to save someone else's mother who has the same name. That idea for me works. The execution doesn't. So, I mean, in the rewatching, it was like, I get what you're going for. I don't think you did it right, which is unfortunate because it's become a joke.
Yeah.
And I think they could have done it right. I just don't think they executed it in the proper way.
I think they could have, speaking of, like, things they could have executed better, the Flash stuff, like...
That's confusing. Well,
you were right about him all along. Like, what does he mean? Who is he?
This movie is pretty unforgiving if you don't know DC.
Like, the first time I saw it, I was like, who's this guy? Just, man, Bruce Wayne is tripping balls. Such crazy dreams, but Bruce is taking the cake.
Like, why are there fire towers in the sky and flying monkeys?
And why is there a giant Omega sign?
Well, that's the sign of Darkseid, Boom Tombs, and Parademons. Clearly.
Oh, sorry. Forgive my answer. Wait, is this where the Crimson Bands of the Sidorak come in?
No, wrong universe.
Damn it!
No, this movie is, like I said, the lead stuff. It's pretty unforgiving if you don't know DC.
Which is where I think the MCU has a leg up, because it's pretty forgiving, because they introduce things differently and they bring you into it.
We do get the scene that was released on the internet of Lex standing with Steppenwolf, who was a general of Darkseid. He's
in like a pool of blood with the mother boxes, though.
Yeah, which they give no context to, and it's still super confusing.
Yeah, well, I still don't know what a mother box is. Like, I got my mother a box with like some chocolates in it for Mother's Day. Is that similar?
No, there's less technology in there. That's more just calories.
Okay.
These have 0 calories.
0 calories. Should I get my mom a
but
mother
they're
box?
extra evil.
Okay, so don't get my mom a mother box. Okay. Mother's Day, right around the corner in like 9 months. Don't get her a mother box.
I wouldn't. They do mention Arkham in this extended cut that wasn't in the theatrical.
I like that when he's in the prison cell and he's like, I've arranged for a transfer. Because Lex is like, doesn't matter, I'm unfit to stand trial and I'm going to get out, blah, 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 blah. Which leads me to believe that Lex is possessed in some fashion.
I don't know. It's so unexplained. I don't know.
So it's possible that he is possessed in some form. Because how does he, know? Because obviously he's had some interaction with Darkseid or in some way, because he has the painting in his place where he's talking about the angels and the demons, and he's,
You're like, would Daddy care if I change things?
Which he did.
Here's something that I noticed, though, which I'm going to give the movie a little bit of credit for.
Whoa.
Go back 20 minutes where I'm very outspoken about not liking Lex Luthor.
Like, screw you, movie.
Where I would, and they've given themselves an out to give them a better Lex Luthor. But it does do something that I didn't notice with my first viewing of it. Batman and Superman, their origins are they're orphans. This is the first time we've gotten really Lex Luthor as an orphan as well.
Well, the theme is like fathers and sons, kind of.
But it's interesting seeing kind of three different perspectives with the idea of being an orphan. We have Superman who wants to do right by his respective fathers, who he's been technically orphaned twice. We have Batman wanting to prevent the idea of there being anyone else like him, and Lex wanting to impress his absentee father. Which I thought was interesting. We got three different perspectives on the same kind of idea.
I like that. You know what I didn't like? I wish there was more of, and we didn't really get more of in
the
this
kitchen
movie.
sink.
No.
Superman gets hit with one.
Yeah, he gets messed up with one. That happened in the theatrical version, though.
Yes, it did. I don't think we brought it up, and it was stupid then.
More Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she feels very much tacked on.
But she feels more underused with the extra 30 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think there was any extra Wonder Woman. All the Wonder Woman we got in the theatrical was the Wonder Woman that we got in the extended.
But, I did like, the picture with Chris Pine and everything. Like, it was good.
There was one line that I think was in the theatrical that I didn't bring up, and I meant to look it up earlier. I didn't, so I'm not going to get it verbatim.
Okay.
Like, Superman flies away from Lois, and he goes, like, all good in the end, like, turn bad. That's the most un-Superman line you could have said.
I don't think
that isn't Superman.
No, he said something about there is still good in this world or something.
No, like when Lex manipulates him to go off and fight Batman, he's like, I have to go like all good men turn evil in the end or something like that. I'm like, that.
I don't think he said that. He said something about the good in the world.
It was really close to that. And it didn't. I might have noticed it the first time around, but the second time I'm like, oh my god, that's the most un-Superman thing Superman could say. Like, this character so far isn't Superman.
Did you think the Batman-Superman fight held up the second time around? I thought it was a pretty good fight.
It's still paper thin. And the Superman's like, I need your help. I'm going to punch you through a couple buildings. Not helping.
Well,
not helping your cause.
Because Bruce attacks him. Like, Bruce isn't having any of it.
He could have flown up 20 feet and be like, hey, I'm going to talk at you. All those things you have that depend on me walking in a straight line, not going to get me. If I just don't walk in a straight line and talk, I'll get my point across.
They had to fight. Is the fight in the animated version better, do you think?
Oh, the Dark Knight Returns one?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. That's a good movie.
Batman wins all the time, though. Like, Superman does not beat Batman, really.
That's not true. There's been plenty of times. Usually, it ends as a draw.
Let's be honest, though. Batman won this fight. He knocked him out with a friggin' sink.
Yeah, because Superman he's like, oh, he's slowly reloading that grenade launcher that depowered me last time. Guess I'll let him do it. Good thing I'm not faster than a speeding bullet.
Yeah, but he didn't want it. Like, the line, if I wanted it, you'd already be dead. He's not going to kill him.
Except he tried. Like, he throws this wild, like, haymaker punch at Batman. Batman blocks it, and then Superman looks really surprised. He doesn't know he's been depowered at that point. That punch would have killed Batman.
By the way, is it...
Like, yeah, you should be surprised.
Anytime the kryptonite is around, Superman's hair goes to crap.
Oh.
Like in the pouring rain, all right, his hair on point. The moment kryptonite shows, like if I go in the rain, my hair just goes crazy. All right, Superman, he's out in the rain. I'll give you that. He's Kryptonian, right? Maybe he's got some Kryptonian hair gel going on. In the pouring rain, his hair on point. So the moment that Bruce unleashes the green mist,
you can't take those muscles away. His muscles have muscles.
I'm not denying that, but the moment the green mist went off, the Kryptonian mist,
that means the ankle could beat you up.
You're missing my point here, man. Superman's hair is like the first vulnerable thing. It's the first thing to go when Kryptonite shows up.
Yeah.
He loses, like, he's got the little curl there. Nope, comes kind of down across his face. That's how you know Kryptonite's around. His hair just goes, eh.
And then we get Doomsday. There wasn't a lot added there. There's maybe a little bit of violence.
Yeah, I mean...
Overall, this movie, I don't think it needed an R rating. I think they just tacked on a little bit of extra blood just to, like, make themselves a little edgier. I don't think it added to the story.
No,
I think it was just for a press release.
You could have cut other things.
There's plenty they
from the theatrical version and put the stuff you added in. It made it feel longer.
The movie does give more motivation. I think this is a better movie.
It's a better movie. It's a long movie. One of the things I was reading about
It's not a good movie.
It's not a terrible movie.
No, and I think I said this to you, like, since I bought the extended... I've watched it twice, and I was watching it, like, this is a movie that I could potentially grow to like. I'll never love it, but I could like it.
I believe if you were to go back to the original podcast, I said, you're going to change your tune when you see the extended cut. I called this months ago.
If there's anything I'm not going to do, it's go back and listen to myself.
If you had a choice between watching the extended cut again or listening to our first episode.
Look, the first episode is a third the length. I'll still watch the movie.
Wow.
Because you don't listen to these, do you?
I dabble back and forth. By the way, nice review was put up this week by my man Ross.
Yeah, he told
me. Got your back, Ross. Jerry 12 here for you.
He says buy better beer.
Listen, I appreciate you saving me $4.75. Times are tight.
You owe me a quarter, by the way. Overall, end of the day, using our rating system that doesn't work because you can't see this movie in theaters, but it doesn't really affect it for me. I'd still say Redbox it. Would
you see it in theaters? If it was 3 hours and you hadn't seen it, would you still have gone to see it in theaters?
I don't mind a long movie if the movie itself is necessary. Some 3-hour movies are worth 3 hours. This one is not. This is a...
One of the things I read is...
I don't know. I don't know if it's... The script was overbloated or if it was just poorly cut.
I feel like they were trying to shove too much stuff into it.
Well, they're trying to get the Death of Superman and Dark Knight Returns in there and make a standalone Batman movie and a quasi-Superman sequel.
And lay the foundation for
Justice League. Be a prequel for Justice League. Yeah, the whole thing.
I feel like a better way to go about it is, okay, yeah, you encounter Wonder Woman, and Lex has a file on Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman at the end says, there are more like me. And you leave it at that. So, okay, oh, great. Who is, the Justice League? Great. What are we going to get for Justice League people? And then they go out and they, search for the Justice League members. But we just, we spent so much time, looking at footage of Aquaman, who had nothing to do with the movie. Cyborg, who had nothing to do with the movie. Flash, who the Flash in the Metahumans file is different than the Flash we're getting in...
No, he's the same guy. We just get...
a haircut.
Yeah.
It just feels like you could have taken that 3-minute, 4-minute segment and cut it out of the movie and just saved it for somewhere else.
You could have cut a lot out of that movie. This movie doesn't need to be 3 hours. Maybe there's a good cut of this movie in there. There's that fan edit of the Phantom Menace out there that reorganizes things and mostly cuts out Jar Jar. That's supposed to be a good movie.
Really?
Maybe someone will do a cut of Batman v Superman where they make it a good movie. Maybe there's a good movie in there, and I think there could be.
One of the things I've read, because when rereading some stuff, is the movie really doesn't go anywhere. And compared to if you got a problem with 3-hour movies, if you enjoyed Fellowship of the Ring, you can't be upset because in 3 hours the Fellowship was formed, they kill the Balrog, and stuff happens. The things progress in the first 3 hours of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Nothing really happened in 3 hours except for. Superman died.
And forgot to smile.
Man, you're all oh, he's so emo and depressed. The whole world is, divided on him. He's here, giving of himself, and he's I need to help these people, and, everyone's, so friggin' ungrateful.
Because he treats it like a chore. He's should I? I don't actually care.
Because people are, raising that question.
Superman is a beacon of hope, and in this movie, all we get is Superman questioning himself from watching CNN for half the movie. If we could cut all of the news coverage out of this movie, we'd probably have a 2-hour movie.
We should have watched Sharknado and reviewed that. Speaking of news footage and things, there's so many cameos in Sharknado. Did you watch Sharknado 4 when it came out this past week?
No.
I'm disappointed.
Was it 3 that had Conan O'Brien?
I think it was I can't remember.
I couldn't.
I watched bits and pieces of 4. The Fourth Awakens is what it was called.
Oh, that's bad.
It's not meant to be good.
That's real bad.
Sharknado is not meant to be like a piece of cinematic masterpiece.
All right, I gave it a red box. What's your rating?
I would say, even if like it was like available to see in the theater, I don't know. I cranked up my home theater system and watched it, and kind of wish it was in the big screen. But it's dark, it's gritty. I watched it on a rainy day the first time. It'd be a good rainy day theater watch. Otherwise, red box it.
Watch those men in tights be very serious.
That was a very non-committal answer on my part. I understand that. Very political answer.
Let's move on to, what do we call the segment?
Letters to the editor.
Letters to the editor.
Oh my God, this is your show.
We didn't do the segment in 2 weeks. I forgot it.
Here's your letters to the editors. To submit your questions, email us at editorsnotecomics@gmail.com.
I had a few to choose from.
Who's this from?
I don't want to give names. We'll call this.
No, give it a first name.
I will call him Star Wars Fan 87.
Star Wars Fan 87. Does he have a real name?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Star Wars Fan 87. Leads me to believe this man likes Star Wars and was born in 1987. Take that, world's greatest detective.
This is our most formal question of all time.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. Please send your questions, and I won't mock them for their formality. Except for this one. It's okay.
I was listening to the radio on the way over, by the way, not to take away from Star Wars Fan 87, that most emails that are sent that are most successful are ones that are written at, what was it, a 3rd grade level or 6th grade level? Simple. Keep it simple.
You know, there's this thing where it's like the most truthful that people are is in email form.
Really?
Because it's like a written document. Like face-to-face, you can lie to people, and you can be like, oh, that they're just like saying that, or even like text messages are often shorthand, but email is when people are the most honest.
It also says use like everyday conversational words in emails. Don't like try and like sound smarter than you are.
Let's see if they're smarter than they are. Marvel and Star Wars are now in the same Marvel/Disney realm. Do you ever see Star Wars joining the Marvel universe, either in the comics or movies? And if so, how do you think they'd execute that?
Oh, shut up, Star Wars Fan 87. You are dumb. That is the dumbest question we've ever got on this show. If that ever were to happen, I would be so angry.
Could you not insult the listeners?
Okay, listen, Star Wars Fan 87, that was a harsh reaction to your dumb question. But, no, I don't. Okay, I'll go back to being nice, because Zach...
I'm going to say absolutely and absolutely do it. Imagine a world.
Oh, no. Oh, I hate you. I hate you more than I've ever hated you in my entire life. And there's been times I've really friggin' hated you.
You could never do this in the movies. But you could absolutely do a crossover book. I mean, back in the day, there used to be like novelizations.
I'm Picard double face palming you right now.
Yeah, and Star Trek has crossed over with Green Lantern. Star Trek has crossed over with the X-Men. Like, this isn't out of the realm of possibility.
This is why I like to live in my little world where these are all separate little universes and I have my own little fun. But no, you come in here and be like, oh, this is happening.
No, imagine like there's some kind of alternate dimension where the Avengers have to go over into Star Wars realm, and then you have guys like Tony Stark trying to figure out the Force, who's just technology based, and then you get Captain America with a lightsaber, or the Hulk getting thrown around by Darth Vader.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
They have two of the biggest money makers in the world.
Keep them separate.
No, put them together.
Keep them separate.
Give me a mini-series.
Oh, I'm going to punch you.
I want it. That'd be amazing. Are you kidding? Putting the two greatest money makers in the world together? How is that not good?
That would, no.
Why no? Why don't you want to see things together?
Listen, I like them for what they are. I like the individuality. I like where the Avengers are in the MCU. I like that being where it is. I like the different universe that is Star Wars. I like that it's its own thing. It has its own mythos. It has its own canon. It has its own...
Why not have some fun and see how those things that are different combine together?
You know, I hope they do it, and I hope the movie surrounds Jar Jar Binks.
Don't do it as a movie. It would never happen as a movie, but I can see it as like a 6-issue mini. Why not? You have the rights to it. You can have some fun seeing how different worlds interact.
I mean, some things I feel like they're just sacred. Star Wars is sacred to me. I don't know if we need to have Star Wars.
Just some real Rush Limbaugh stuff you're throwing down here.
And this is not like me, dude. I'm friggin' liberal as it gets, dude.
You keep them apart.
I'm a bleeding heart liberal, and right now I've gone full Rush Limbaugh, Howie Carr. What's the other guy there on that used to be on Fox News? Glenn Beck. I hate myself for feeling this way, but I don't know. I'm really sorry, Star Wars Fan 87, that I yelled at you, but I just no. I mean, okay, what if the Ninja Turtles showed up in the Star Wars universe? How would you feel then?
They've crossed over with everyone. It's fine. They've done Batman, Ghostbusters, a ton of stuff.
Yeah, I get that because that's like in our universe, in our galaxy. Star Wars is a galaxy far, far away, a real long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. This doesn't have to be canon or make sense. Just have some fun.
I bet you're.
Why not have some fun and just?
Are you one of those fan fiction guys? You write your own little fan fiction stories?
No, but I'll take a good story if we can get it.
You are one of those guys. I bet you've written some fan fiction. You've got to come up with your own little stories.
Yeah, but they were all pornographic.
You know, I figured that it was going to be that way, but I didn't want to bring it up.
I'd say do it. Bring together what you have. Have fun.
I'm going to get tremendous flack for yelling at Star Wars Fan 87. I feel bad. I'm sorry, Star Wars Fan 87.
What if Tony Stark had to dismantle C-3PO to make a new Iron Man suit and they had to kill him?
No.
That'd be amazing.
Oh, you want to see 3PO die?
Yes. Always and forever. He really lost me in episode 2. Look, once he was beside himself, it was time to die.
I have nothing.
What else would be a good crossover in there? Imagine them combining like telekinesis against the Force and talking about like how things are different. Or you introduce magic into that world, like you throw a Doctor Strange in there. Or you get like Thor's hammer up against a lightsaber.
That would be curious. I'd like to see how they would handle that. I'll give you that.
No, there's so much you could do in there.
Dude, Jedi would totally kick all of their asses, though.
Yeah, that's the fun of it. You get to see that. You get to see how that would play out.
How mighty are the Avengers, dude? The Jedi would totally own them, all right?
Captain America will throw his mighty shield, and they will have to yield.
No, they will cut it in half.
Or will they?
Oh, yes, they will.
This is the fun of it.
No, this is not...
How fun would it be to see, like...
You are geeking out very hard right now.
I don't know, I keep going back to Iron Man, but imagine, like, Iron Man and Han Solo both just standing off to the side and telling everyone they're idiots and everything is stupid.
And
then just, like, fist bumping and drinking a beer.
I could get behind that.
And just, like, everyone else could be fighting it out or talking about their stuff. They'll just be in the background going, like, this is dumb. Real dumb.
You pulled this question out of the mailbag because you knew it would elicit this response from me.
I didn't. I didn't know you hated fun.
I love fun. I just don't see this as being fun. Maybe I'm a curmudgeon in this regard.
Definitely.
Okay, fine. I'll be a curmudgeon this week. Then now you know how it feels to be on the other end of you. As you were talking about, I had fun watching Batman v Superman. You're like, oh, this movie doesn't make any sense. I like The Dark Knight. Like, oh, this movie tries to be smart, but it's not. See, this is now you know how it feels to be on my end when I'm having fun watching The Dark Knight. Or I'm having fun watching Batman v Superman.
No one has had fun watching The Dark Knight. People have gone like, it's enjoyable. No one has ever said, I had fun watching that.
Or I enjoyed it. And when I enjoy things, I had fun. Fun is enjoyable.
It's not a fun movie.
I mean, yeah, I get
like,
that.
I need a real pick-me-up. I'm going to go throw in The Dark Knight. What a good mood I'm in now.
Now you're lawyering up what I'm saying. You are twisting my words to meet and placate to your argument.
Imagine a world.
No.
Where Luke Skywalker has to fight. I'm trying to think of someone awesome here.
Why do you have all the good guys fighting each other?
That's all I want. Well, imagine them teaming up.
Against who?
Darth Vader, the Emperor.
Luke handled that well on his own.
No, he didn't.
Okay, granted, he did lose an arm.
He got electrocuted, got de-armed, threw his weapon away.
Still came out on top, man. Still came out on top.
Did he? Because he went to an island by himself and was sad.
We're going to find out why. And that, to me, is fun.
Why is Luke sad?
If we get to that point where, like, we find out that Tony Stark came and, like, stole his wife, and that's why he's sad and is, like, on the island by himself.
Because there was already a crossover that we never saw.
Yeah, that would be a plot twist.
Well, even imagine Luke, like, your hero archetype, your young hero, teaming up, like, who has all these kind of, like, farm boy, Midwestern values, teaming up with Captain America.
I think Captain America would lose.
I said teaming up.
I don't think Captain America would be able to carry Luke Skywalker's jockstrap. Granted, he's whiny and complains and is like prone to like have like little fits of rage.
Ever seen Captain America complain about not being able to go to Tashi Station?
No.
No.
Because there is no Tashi Station in the Marvel Universe.
No, there's not.
Nor should there be.
His voice never hit that octave. Power converters!
Yeah, see, another reason why there should be no crossover. Let Luke go whine in his galaxy far, far away, and let Captain America stand here for truth, justice, and the American way. You're gonna have.
I guess there was
You're gonna have dreams about this tonight, aren't you?
I never read them, but from my understanding is years ago there was a novelization book, no pictures, regular old book of the X-Men and Next Generation. I guess Picard and Xavier were you look familiar.
I know. I just why? I mean, then it becomes soap opera like. They have their Star Wars universe. Boom, Star Wars universe. Let it be. You have the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Boom, let it be. Let it be its own thing. Why do you have to why? Why do you have to go and mix things together?
Because we've seen the same things play out for years and years and years.
So
why do you know if that adds spice? Add spice.
There's other ways to add spice. Are you talking about spice in Star Wars, the spice that's the drug?
I'm saying some cumin. Get some cumin in there. Throw some oregano in. Not at the same time. Bad combination.
Oh, you're probably a dill guy. You like dill, don't you?
I like it with eggs.
Yeah, a little dill in the eggs. The Katarian eggs that Captain Kirk made.
I also like it with oregano, not combined again.
He wanted some dill for his Katarian eggs.
Yeah, and then he died.
Well,
possibly from high cholesterol from the eggs.
No, I think it's because he fell off a cliff on a bridge.
That could do it too.
Where can we find you?
Yeah, listen.
Oh, by the way, recommended reading. We didn't do recommended reading last week.
I've already done it for Batman v Superman. All still kind of just stands the same. Go read the stuff that they kind of butchered. Just go read Dark Knight Returns, Death of Superman. But unless you're not up on 90s comics, and then don't read Death of Superman because it's not good. Go read Dark Knight Returns and you'll be happy.
Will you have fun?
Yes.
It was fun.
Yeah, but no one dies.
Oh.
Except for Batman. But then he comes back, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Excellent.
You can find me at editorsnotecomics.com, YouTube, Google Play, iTunes for the show. You can physically find me at 210 Water Street in downtown Hollowell, and on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Now open Monday through Saturday.
Yeah, Monday through Saturday, except for, what's that holiday? I'm going to close on Labor Day. I'll close on Labor Day.
Oh, there you go.
Because I made that mistake last year of being open on random holidays. Doesn't work well.
No, just close on holidays. Nobody's out.
Because I will be at my 1-year anniversary in 9 days.
Wow. Any sales coming up?
Yeah, something. I'll do something big.
Well, I mean, are you doing any sales in general right now?
Oh. No, nothing new, but I will for the anniversary.
Long box is still there?
Yeah.
All right.
Where are you? Your one location? I'll give your home address and phone number after.
No, because Star Wars Fan 87 is going to mail bomb my house. At Junior Rich on Twitter.
It's
and
true.
Star Wars Fan 87, it's not personal. It's not personal. I'm sure you're a great person. And a great fan of the show. Please don't stop listening to the show because of me.
Have some conviction, man. Stop backpedaling.
You know what, Star Wars Fan 87? You keep being you and ask another question, and we'll answer that one too.
If you do have your own questions, really however you want to, email, Facebook. I guess I've gotten some Twitter ones, but it's mostly been email and Facebook. I don't really care how you want to do it. Do it how you like.
I can't wait to see the irrational hate for me next week on this one.
That'll do it for this week. We'll be back next week with Suicide Squad. Maybe we'll do better than the 32% it has on Rotten Tomatoes. We'll see.
Wasn't Batman v Superman at 32% when we went to go see it?
What's really sad is every DC movie has gone downhill. Man of Steel was 55. Batman v Superman was, I forget, but it was, I think it's doing a little better than Suicide Squad was. Every movie has gone less and less.
That does not give me much hope.
Be positive.
Yeah!
Yeah, because you didn't end the show with positivity. You're I hate everything.
I don't hate everything.
Why would people want to have fun?
I'm all about having fun, but having the right kind of fun. Fun that makes sense.
The Rush Limbaugh way. We'll be back next week.
No, I'm not Rush Limbaugh at all. You shut your dirty mouth.